In 2009, the Bravo reality show NYC Prep attempted to capitalize on the popularity of teen drama Gossip Girl by providing a scandalous look at the real lives of affluent Manhattan teenagers, and airing just months before I would move to New York City at age 18. The precocious prep school students featured in this single-season reality show certainly helped prep school me on how to navigate life as a privileged young New Yorker. I learned so much from these kids, at least in terms of saying entitled things and spending other people's money. Unfortunately, there was no TV show that could have prepared me for my first New York heartbreak when my West Village sugar daddy moved on to a twinkier-looking, more hairless student from the new school. I still get painful flashbacks about it. Please, sir, take me to the matinee of Wicked. I made my roommate put Nair on my butt for you. No, I don't get chemical burns, cause it's mostly dead skin down there. Anyway, there are still plenty of lessons that we can take away from NYC Prep episode 1, where we meet the iconic cast of pretentious teens who all seem basically guaranteed a spot at Ivy League schools, at least until this show premiered. Due to acting like spoiled brats on TV, the kids in this cast were either expelled from their high schools or even had their admission offers to Harvard revoked. Could it have been because they were shown underage drinking and partying? Or was it their nonstop barrage of ignorant classist comments? Or perhaps it's because they all seem so incapable of fully expressing their own thoughts and feelings that their college application essays finally got investigated for plagiarism. Whatever the case may be, this was a moment in time for reality TV, and it needs discussing on a big bite of the Big Apple installment of Clip Breakdown. Hello television viewers, my name is Nick. Thank you so much for joining me once again on my channel for another installment of Clip Breakdown. This is the playlist where we dive into our favorite movies, TV movies, and other content here on the web, and we break it down into little clips like a school year is in semesters to look at each individual piece and say, are you a gold star honor student or a spoiled little elitist with a heart of dirt? I'm gonna say off the bat, this reality show had a pretty profound impact on me as a child, so I'm grateful to be able to review it here with you today. But before we get into it, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. If you want to see even more clip breakdowns on this show or others from this time period, let me know. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon, and you'll always be the first to know when I'm ringing the school bell for the prep school kids. Are you a prep or are you a punk? Take off all your preppy clothes. So as I said, when this show had aired, I was already accepted to school in New York and was very excited about moving to the big city after having visited once with my friend whose parents lived there, and I thought like, oh, this is the coolest place ever. The kids of NYC Prep certainly play into that belief as well. Let's just dive in and meet the whole crew. I would say the 2 kind of leads of season 1, which is the only season, probably because no parent in their right minds would ever allow their kid to go on season 2 of this after what happened to most of these kids, which is like they all really kind of made it harder for them to get higher education because this is not the look. Either way, the seniors are the sort of stars of this season, and it starts with PC, probably the most memorable figure on this show. PC stands for Peter Carey. Let's meet him.
The thing about New York is money flows like the wind. People want to strive, kind of act like an ass and really flash their money. Yeah, I feel bad for other people that can't have that.
Well, that's very empathetic of you to feel bad for people who can't afford to act like assholes and always be buying blazers like you. I imagine that after appearing on NYC Prep, PC here learned a lot about how hard it can be to control your own narrative on reality television. Because he starts off the season trying to come off like he's a bigger ladies' man than Patrick Bateman. And then by the final episode, his storyline is that the sophomore girls are publicly outing him for being bi-curious. Seems like a couple of those plot points took a left turn on you there, my friend. Although the scenes of him being ridiculed for simply wearing jeans that fit certainly felt relatable to my gay almost to the point of re-traumatizing me. Luckily, a lot of the sensitivity around my childhood has dulled down significantly, just like the skin that makes up my dead ass cheeks that I mentioned not more than a minute into this video. XOXO Gossip Girl. What PC experiences on this show, being villainized and outed, would be difficult for anyone to go through, let alone at 17 years old. I hope that wherever he is now, he feels comfortable and happy with who he is. And in case he's watching this, PC, I'm sorry for what you went through. And I'm also sorry that this blazer makes you look like the gingerbread man in a play about Christmas. The other senior ruling the school is Jessie, a 17-year-old with a lot of, I guess you could call them superstitions. She seems to have some sort of regulation for everything that goes on.
You don't wear all your labels at once, and I think it's really important.
Something
if it's after
sexual.
7, it means it's a date.
I can't toast with water. Bad luck.
Sweetheart, you're wearing a suit vest with ripped jeans and the conservative hairstyle of a paralegal secretary. So I think it's time to stop letting luck dictate a few of your decisions, okay? Jessie has so many crazy old money superstitions guiding her every move. You just know she's some wacky, distant cousin of Jackie Onassis. She's fully 17 years old and sitting here like, oh, you can't wear a seersucker between Labor Day and Memorial Day, or it shortens the yachting season by 6 whole weeks. Like, listen, honey, maybe stop repeating all of this weird stuff that your mom says to her inbred cousins from the Adirondacks. Whenever I wear both Hanes underwear and socks at the same time, I think about this quote where she's like, hey, you never wear your labels all at once. I think it's really important. Like, yeah, it's good. It's really important. One of the funniest parts about this show is how all of the kids try so hard to sound like adults when it's almost always clear that they barely know what they're talking about. PC in particular will just be like kind of flipping back and forth all through his statements. Like, you don't know what to think.
I'm not gonna talk bad about Operation Smile, but I will. Who wants to go out and, like, you know, try to make friends, but I do.
PC, are you still learning how rhetorical questions work, or just talking out of your right now? He is trying so hard to sound worldly, which I guess to him just means doing some sort of call and response. And that's just like how it is in New York City, you know, like, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. So I know that it's really expensive to live in Manhattan, but it seems like somebody told PC that it gives him the equivalent level of privilege to some kind of white Saudi prince. We have to make sure he never stumbles on to a subway train headed towards Queens. That much culture shock could cause his organs to shut down. All right, let's meet the other kids real quick. We got Kelly.
My name is Kelly, I'm 16 and I live on the Upper East Side. I wanted to be in the city because I want to sing. They said, girl, you gotta let it go.
She said, today we'll be recording a song based on the advice that my vocal coach gave me about a music career. Girl, you gotta let it go. Kelly's thing is that she and her brother spend most of the week at home alone in the Manhattan apartment, while her parents spend most of their time in the Hamptons. She seems to really love telling us how she rarely has supervision and is always ordering takeout. Kelly, I know you probably think that means you're the real-life Carrie Bradshaw, but it actually just means you don't get hugged enough and you frequently have diarrhea. How cosmopolitan. But honestly, she's just what the city needs. A wealthy white vocalist trying to break into the music biz. She's basically the Lady Gaga of the Upper East Side, which just means her clothes are boring, she refuses to go blonde, and gay people kind of hate her. Anyway, Kelly's just living her life when she, bam, meets Sebastian, a real heartthrob.
Hook up with like 2-3 girls in a night, anywhere between like 2 and 16 girls in a month. There are a lot of girls here. Some girls like if you're like an ass to them.
Don't worry, society. Let's just trust that, like all young men, his toxic attitude towards women will just magically improve one day on its own. Despite the conflicting messaging from all popular music, most mainstream films, and even his own father, who is also an asshole. At least this show is also willing to show how smart these kids are. For example, Sebastian seems really good with data. That's why you won't catch him talking about human girls as anything other than ranges of numbers over periods of time. Like when a serial killer confesses to age-old murder sprees while on their deathbed. It's the same exact concept. So Kelly and Sebastian definitely are hitting it off. They make plans to hang out some other time. And Kelly, by the way, is a junior, as is is her friend. This is Camille. She's another one who's very easy to remember. Definitely like the, I want to say like Goody Two-Shoes character in the cast.
My family is very wealthy, yet we're not multi-billionaires. We're definitely in the top 1% or top half of a percent.
That's me lying about the performance of my OnlyFans page to get brands to send me free underwear. I don't know what's going on over there. People do not want to sign up to see my scat videos. Camille is like, I happen to know all about my family's tax bracket because they send me to live with their accountant during the holidays due to me not being very fun at family events. Even she seems to cringe a little bit at this kind of classless assertion at being a higher class of American. But I think the most embarrassing thing is probably this B-roll, where she illustrates her extreme wealth by lighting a candelabra. Welcome to the Liberace guest room. The producers of the show were like, okay, we need to get some footage of you doing something cool, rich, and sexy, like in Gossip Girl. And Camille was like, got it. Stay close to the candles. The staircase can be treacherous. She said, we're very wealthy, but no, we're not billionaires. And we didn't think that you were, sweetie, because you're up in this dated looking room lighting candles and exaggerating like Louisa May Alcott right now. So Camille pretty much feels like she has her whole life planned. She's gonna go to Harvard, be a business person at a genetics firm, and then have kids by 40. So she's like all into getting good grades on her SATs, and she needs to volunteer. They set it up so like she needs volunteer work to get into Harvard. I'm gonna sound like a parent, but I feel like these kids could really focus on their studies a little bit harder, which is a hard thing to do at any age. So I am so grateful for the sponsor of today's video, Endel. It's an environment-based nonprofit app, and it basically combines everything scientists know about sound to help you feel more focused and rested. Endel uses cutting-edge technology to create custom soundscapes for me to help me relax, focus, and sleep by helping me concentrate for longer periods of time, creating feelings of comfort and safety, and my favorite, soothing me to sleep with these gentle sounds. Endel is AI powered, meaning it takes input like my location, my weather, and my heart rate and adapts in real time. Endel can even learn my circadian rhythms, which is like my biological clock, and complement it to help me feel good either day or night. Neuroscience-backed brainwave studies show Endel provides the fastest, most consistent focus versus streaming playlists online. Plus, the app is just beautiful. I find myself looking at this, whether it's on my phone or on my watch, and they even have cool special partnerships like AI Lullaby, which is a sleep soundscape with original vocals and music by Grimes. If you're looking for an easy way to improve your focus and fall asleep faster using the science of sound, then I really recommend Endel. I've been using it every night. Plus, the first 100 people to download Endel using the link below will get a free week of audio experiences. And now let's get back to the prep school of it all. What's really important is that we talk about how much this show tried to overproduce itself to seem like basically the exact copy of season 1 of Gossip Girl. Like, we have Taylor here. She's a 15-year-old sophomore at not an Upper East Side prep school, but an Upper West Side public school, which they try to make the public school, private school divide a very stark difference in this universe. So Taylor very much feels like she's supposed to be the Jenny Humphrey of NYC prep, who in Gossip Girl was played by Taylor Momsen, who was like really wanted to fit in with the Upper East Side private school girls, and like it was just a little artificial as they make it here. You can also see the overproduction in how basically Taylor's like, Mom, I'm having a party. And then they're like, how are you having a party tonight? And she's like, it's just friends from school. I don't want to tell you. And they're like, what? Are you going to a party or you're throwing one? And it's like, obviously she didn't just like throw a party without her mom knowing. It's clear that the production like set up a dinner at a restaurant, what they call a party. And it seems like they're kind of encouraging Taylor to act like this is her party that she's throwing so that she can connect with the private school girls. Taylor is she's not good at faking stuff, so she seems unconvincing whenever she's like, everything is so different from their world and my world. It's like, you're just repeating what the producers are feeding you. And the producers are feeding us a lot more than that when it comes to making it clear what show they are trying to be.
Like Gossip Girl. I hate that show. They film on my block. Like at 8 a.m. I want to get a cab.
You guys are like the real gossip.
It drives me insane.
Oh, really?
that sucks.
Jessie is like, I'll have you know that I can't enjoy watching the characters of Gossip Girl because I'm too busy being a less pretty version of them in real life. Obviously, Jessie would seem pretty lame if she admitted to watching Gossip Girl. Somehow even more lame than, you know, participating in a reality show where she's actively trying to emulate its main characters. As much as they're trying to be the real Gossip Girl, as it turns out, the real Manhattan prep school experience is so unlike the one that they show on TV. It ends up being like this completely staged conversation with a planted sales associate ends up being like the only way that the audience can directly connect NYC prep with the CW show that inspired it. In fact, I had not yet seen Gossip Girl when I started watching NYC prep, so I didn't even know that that's what this show was trying to be. It doesn't feel the same because NYC prep, they can't show real teenagers doing drugs and hooking up. That's why NYC prep feels more tame than even the most basic episode of Gossip Girl. You know, like those kids could like somehow mysteriously drink in bars and these kids have to go to the Cheesecake Factory or some shit. Also, the kids on Gossip Girl have scripted dialogue that makes them sound like witty adults, while the NYC prep kids are out here fighting for their lives, trying to fully string together a sentence and identify their own emotions. They're always like, I don't know, I just do. It's like, okay. I'm so glad that money makes your opinion matter more. But this right here feels like the most obvious way that they're trying to fake the Gossip Girl storyline.
On Facebook, it's like a gossip group. JL spotted getting out of mystery car. Looks like she's up to old habits. I mean, yeah, I was getting out of someone's car, but why do you care?
I'm sorry, why is it blind item Facebook gossip that you were seen getting out of a car? Were your legs covered in diarrhea? Because that's the only reason I can think of that all of your high school would be talking about it. Clearly, this anonymous Facebook group is supposed to be NYC Prep's version of the anonymous blogger who stirs things up on Gossip Girl. But to me, it's just so obvious that this Facebook group was created by the production, or it's just being completely made up by the kids. Not only because it never comes up again after episode 1, but also because the gossip itself is just a bunch of actual nonsense that could never be disputed. She's like, Stephania, did you read this vicious rumor they're saying about me? JL spotted with really pretty hair, comma, had the most fun birthday party out of all the junior girls with birthdays in November. Ugh, like, yes, I'm pretty unpopular, but like, why do you care? So basically, what's her name now? Jessie? Yeah, Jessie's whole thing is like, I'm trying to network. I have to go to art galleries to meet people because networking is all about New York. And she thinks she's gonna meet some, I don't know, painter, curator, cater waiter at some, they have like so many art gallery openings with free champagne in New York. She goes to these acting like it's gonna be like the secret to her job at Vogue. Anyway, she's going to an art gallery opening and she's gonna bring PC. Jessie and PC both get a lot of mileage out of their will they won't they relationship. It allows Jessie to show the world that she's the type of person who boys wanna date. And it helps PC feel like he brought his perceived score on the Kinsey scale down to like a 1 or a 2. Although I'll be honest, it seems like Jessie needs her thing just a little bit more.
Where are you going with?
I'm going to PC. We're like best friends now.
Nothing.
It's like not like that anymore. No, we're just like best friends now. Like everyone's so like suspicious of our friendship.
Yeah,
I think you'll find people are more suspicious of your romantic relationship. But sure, whatever you say over and over again to make it feel real. No, we're just friends now. Like things were what they were, but now they aren't that. No, like we're just best friends. Like it's crazy, we're just best friends now. We're best friends now. Now we're just totally buds. We play one-on-one basketball together. We're practically like just like stepbrothers who have kissed before, but not anymore. No sorry, because we're just best friends, but we used to have a thing, but we are not a thing, but who knows if we'll be a thing. It's just best friends. And it's like so weird that like people are like suspicious of like our relationship. Speaking of PC, Jessie is not the only one getting written up on these anonymous gossip pages on Facebook that were never a thing.
Poor PC can charm the skin off a snake, but one day he'll get bitten by the creature.
Why are you laughing so hard over there, baby girl? Do you not get who they were talking about when they said creature? You look ready to bite him right now. That's right, Jessie. Everyone in AP Physics heard how you French kiss with teeth. These scenes, I mean, good for these kids. It literally gives them a chance to feel like the main character. PC throws his phone, he's like, the snake in the... These peasants, these kids have to act grand, of course. Being steeped in immense wealth and privilege is not enough for them if it's in a vacuum of privacy. So the junior girls, Taylor and Camille, definitely irk Jessie at this gallery opening because, you know, PC is like talking to them and she's like, yeah, I'm not his girlfriend, I can't tell him who to talk to. And he's like, we should be friends with those girls. And she's like, oh, we have enough friends. Like, this show would be embarrassing if it were scripted fiction, but the fact that these people are really trying to act like this is their lives and this is the social world that they live in, it's like, oh shit. But then interestingly, PC is all over the map. So he goes out to dinner with Taylor and Camille. He actually just invited Taylor out because like, he's like, I have a thing for Taylor. And Taylor brings Camille, which is weird. She's like, why is it weird? Like, just get over it. She's here. It's like, obviously a 2-on-1 date is weird. And it gets dicey because PC was trying to be cool, trying to be the, like, he's acting like he's much older than them when he's 15 months maybe. And regardless, we find out that we really see how PC can act a little aggressive when the narrative turns against him and the persona he was trying to project.
So you guys are 12?
Why would you say that?
Maybe you're too abrasive.
They're like little f***ing young bitches that have no idea what they're talking about, but I don't want to say that.
Well, then you probably shouldn't have said it. And following it up with that smug-looking grin was also not advisable. Is there not one parent or guardian that cares enough about PC's future to give him some basic media training? For example, calling two 16-year-old girls little bitches is a risky way to defend yourself from accusations of being abrasive. That thing where he's like, but I'm not gonna say that. It's like, it kind of also makes it seem like PC was trusting these producers to edit around his off-the-record comments, as though the TV producers don't know good TV when it turns 18 and can sign its own release form. You gotta feel bad for PC. If the producer of a Bravo reality TV show is anywhere near the list of people that you trust, I just know you spent a lot of time searching for someone to smile back at you as a baby. Next up, PC's not making a good impression. He like kind of turns off Taylor and Camille by being full of himself, and he is lamenting to, gosh, what's her fucking name? Jessie. I don't know why he's wearing a 3-piece suit. I don't know why. If maybe he's interning at the news station. I don't think he dresses like this all the time. Anyway, he's lamenting to Jessie about how he doesn't know what he wants. He needs help. He needs a girl, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay. Don't worry, by the middle to end of the season, he starts running with a cool crowd of seemingly queer people, and that's when the kids really start talking. You straighties can't stand it when people have cool gay friends that don't go to your school. You could never skip school and go to the mall with a bisexual kid who has long hair and checkered Vans. You could never. Anyway, PC gets, again, a little testy because honestly, Jessie is fighting just as hard as he is to be the driving force of this scene.
I can't help you if you don't want me to help you.
I said you could.
You threw a bottle of water at me. Honestly, I don't need to be here.
Oh my god, this is exactly like an episode of Gossip Girl. Remember when Nate's dad let Nate take the blame for his secret stash of cocaine? Well, the conflict in this scene from NYC Prep takes that same level of ridiculously heightened drama and applies it to just two kids who are a pain in my ass. I think obviously PC is rude. Like, he instantly goes to name calling and sort of like physical force. Like, he doesn't seem to know his own strength. He's like smashing cups together, forcing her to toast. He just hates being denied. And you know, Jessie, in case you don't know, the rule of improv is yes and. Everything he does, he's like, let's have a toast. And she's like, I don't toast with square cups. It's like, okay, you're being a nag, but that's no reason to throw a water bottle. She has every right to get needlessly upset.
Makeup, please.
No.
No, the cap was on it, and I literally just, you know, tossed it in the air. She should have caught it anyway. She's a massive.
Honestly, we just saw undeniable proof that PC is emotionally disturbed. He was intentionally drinking Dasani bottled water. I don't blame Jessie for walking out of this loft in a restaurant that they were shooting in before it opened for dinner. Dasani is like drinking tap water from the Walmart bathroom. And that will not be good enough for Jessie, who has been working with someone, a sales associate at Barney's, since she was 13 years old.
I've been working with someone who's a sales associate at Barney's since I was 13 years old.
That probably sounded a little more glamorous in her head, but to me it's actually kind of sad. I hope that longtime sales associate at Barney's got an equally fulfilling job after the store closing. And that's essentially the main action for episode 1. Do you remember meeting these iconic characters? Here's a little taste of what happens throughout the season. All the kids are power struggling over a cleft palate charity called Operation Smile. There's a little bit of a love triangle between Sebastian and Taylor and what are their names? Taylor, Camille's. I think I've been calling someone whose real name is Camille, Kelly, not Kelly and Camille, not Taylor and girl. In any case, my favorite storyline is definitely PC getting in with a bad crowd of like people who aren't even in high school, they're older kids who I felt like they were alluding to the fact that PC was doing drugs or getting drunk with these people, partying with them, and being a bad influence. And then also the rumors start spreading around about him experimenting with same-sex attraction. So there's a lot to unpack. Let me know if you would like to see any later episodes. Maybe I can find just those gay moments. They're all gay moments on this channel, obviously, but I can narrow down the show to match. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see even more clip breakdowns on Bravo reality shows like this. But most importantly, if you're new to my channel, I would love to have you click that subscribe button right over here. That way you never miss new videos from me. I upload 2 new ones every week, so hit that bell icon to turn on notifications. That way you'll always be the first to know when I'm offering you admissions to an Ivy League school, unless you act up over summer vacation, then it's revoked. Also, I've got merch available and a Patreon where you can access exclusive bonus episodes and virtual watch parties. Right now, we are voting on what we'll be watching together at the end of the month. I can't wait to find out. You guys are all the greatest. Thank you for XOXO gossiping girls with me today. I will see you next time.